Hello students, welcome to 9th Maths online classes. In a previous video, we were learning about the chords of the circle and some theorems related to it. Now, we are going to do some other theorems of this chapter. So, let's start. Now, this is theorem number 10.8 of the NCERT textbook, and this is the most important theorem of this chapter, and the special cases of this theorem are also very important. Now let's see what the theorem is. The theorem says the angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it on any point on the remaining part of the circle. The question says, suppose there is an arc of any circle. In this theorem, we are taking the arc PQ. There are three cases. The figure can be of these three types, and PQ is the arc which is making two angles. The first angle is with the center, that is this angle POQ, and the second angle is with the remaining part of the circle, that is on the boundary of the circle. So angle is angle PAQ. Similarly, in this figure, if the arc is something like this, that is you can say a semicircle, then this is the angle POQ, that is with the center, and PAQ is the angle with the remaining part of the circle. Now similarly, the angle can be more than 180 degree also. This angle was less than 180. This angle POQ was equals to 180 because this was a straight line, that is diameter. Now the angle POQ can also be greater than 180. So in that case, the figure will be something like this. But we need to show that it doesn't matter which type of figure it is or which case it will be. The angle made with the center will be double of the angle made with the remaining part of the circle. So in this theorem, we need to show that angle POQ is twice of angle PAQ, and this is the thing we need to show for all the three figures. Now in this theorem, we are going to do a construction. This is draw a line A, B, cutting the center O. Okay. Similarly, this line will be formed in this figure. Okay. So this is the construction. Draw line AB passing through center O. Okay, we have drawn a line AB which is passing through the center O in all the three figures. Now we are going to do the proof of this theorem, and the proof is same for all the three figures. First of all, you can see that angle BOQ, that is this angle, will be equals to the sum of this angle and this angle. You know that by the exterior angle property, the exterior angle is equals to the sum of the opposite two angles. So this is angle OAQ plus angle OQA, and you can also name them as angle 1, 2, 3. So let's do it with 1, 2, 3 to make it easier. 1, 2 and 3. Angle 1 is equals to angle 2 plus angle 3, and this will be the result in all the three cases, because you can see that the figure is still a triangle. Okay, we are considering a triangle, so exterior angle property can be applied in all the three figures. So the reason will be exterior angle property. Okay, now look at the sides OA and OQ. OA is equals to OQ. Why? Because you can see that these two are the radius of the circle. Okay, so they both are the radius of the circle, which means angle 2 will be equals to angle 3. Again, why is it possible? Because this is an isosceles triangle and we know that angle opposite to the equal sides are equal. So we can write isosceles triangle property. So you can see that in this theorem we are using the properties of the previous chapter also. So first we applied exterior angle property from our chapter 6 lines and angle. Then we applied isosceles triangle property from our chapter 7 congruent triangles. Okay. So by this I can say angle 1 is equals to angle 2 plus angle 3 and angle 2 and angle 3 are same. So angle 1 is equals to angle 2 plus angle 2, because in the place of angle 3 I can put angle 2. So angle 1 is equals to twice of angle 2. Okay, I have shown that this angle 1 is twice of angle 2. Now we are going to do the same procedure for the triangle AOP. And instead of writing each and every step again and again, we can simply write similarly angle this will be twice of angle this. So let's name them 4 and 5. Suppose this is 4 and this is 5. Okay. So after that we can write similarly angle 4 is equals to twice of angle 5. Okay. Now this is my equation number 1 and this is my equation number 2. Add equation 1 and equation 2. So angle 1 plus angle 4 is equals to twice of angle 2 plus twice of angle 5. Now angle 1 plus 4 is my angle POQ. Angle POQ is equals to, we can take twice common and we will be left with angle 2 plus angle 5. And what is the value of angle 2 and angle 5? The sum will be angle PAQ. So this is angle POQ is equals to 2 times angle PAQ. And this is what we needed to prove in this theorem. That is, the angle subtended by the arc with the center is double of the angle subtended by the same arc with the remaining part of the circle. And this is the proof for all the 3 figures. But when the theorem is asked, you have to draw all the 3 figures. Okay, so now let's do some special case of this theorem. The first special case of theorem 10.8 is the angle in the same segment of a circle are equal. Okay, this is theorem 10.9 in our NCERT textbook. It says angle in same segment of circle are equal. What does this statement means? Suppose we have a circle and there is a segment, and I have already told you that segment is the portion here. Okay, now angle in the same segment of circle, that is, suppose there are 2 or 3 angles made by this segment. Suppose the first angle is something like this. Okay, and second angle is something like this. And you can take many further angles like this. That is, angle in the same segment means that all the angles made by the segment will be with the remaining part of the circle, that is on the boundary of the circle. Okay, now this is the result. It says that these angles made by the segment, that is this angle, will be equal to this angle. Okay, it doesn't matter where we are taking the angle should be on the boundary of circle, and it can be something like this also. Okay, this angle is also on the boundary of the circle made by this segment. So this angle will also be equal with these angles, and you can take any angle on the boundary of the circle. Okay, so let's do the proof of this theorem. In this proof we only need 2 angles, so I am taking these 2 angles made by the segment, and let's name it A, B, C and D. And this is the special case of theorem 10.8, so we have to use that theorem in this theorem. So suppose this is the center O and this is my angle 1, 2 and 3. Okay, now look at this. By theorem 10.8, okay, when the proof of this question comes, you have to write the statement of the theorem. By theorem 10.8, I can say angle 1 is twice of angle 2, because we know that angle subtended by the R with the center is double of the angle subtended by the same arc at the remaining part of the circle. So angle 1 is twice of angle 2. Similarly, angle 1 is also twice of angle 3, because this is also the angle made by the same arc on the remaining part of circle. And from both of these equations, I can say 2 angle 2 is equals to 2 angle 3, because both of them are equal to angle 1. So 2 and 2 will be cancelled and we will be left with angle 2 equals to angle 3, and this is what we needed to show in the theorem. So again, similar to the previous theorems, we have to write given and to prove in this theorem also. Now coming to the second special case. The second special case is angle in a semicircle is 90 degrees. This is a very important result of the theorem 10.8. It says angle in a semicircle is 90 degree. Why? Because you can see that suppose this is a circle, this is my semicircle, okay, and we need to show that the angle in a semicircle, that means this angle A is my 90 degree, and this will be 90 because this angle is my 180 degree. Okay, so you can write this is BCO. So we know that angle BOC is 180 degrees because angle on a straight line. Or you can say this is a straight angle, so this is 180 degree. So angle BOC is twice of angle BAC by theorem 10.8, because this is also the result of theorem 10.8, so we have to use that. So angle BOC equals to twice of angle BAC. So this is 180 equals to twice of angle BAC. So 2 I will take on the other side, this will become 90. So it will implies angle BAC is equals to 90 degrees. Okay, and if the question comes like this, if the proof of this theorem comes, you have to prove that theorem 10.8 first, and then you will write these 4 lines, similar for the case of this theorem. Okay, so the two results are angle in a same segment of circle are equal and angle in a semicircle is 90 degrees. Now let's take some examples based on the theorems which we did in this video. Now the first question is, in the figure the angle AOB and angle BOC are given to us and we need to find the angle ADC. Now the questions are very simple. You just need to remember the results of theorem 10.8 and 10.9. That is, the first theorem was with the center and the remaining part of circle, and the second theorem was of the two segments. Okay, now you can see that this is the figure which is similar to the theorem 10.8. Now you can say that angle AOC is equals to 60 plus 30 is equals to 90 degrees. Okay, we know that this angle AOC will be the sum of these two angles, so this is 90 degrees. And we need to find angle ADC. Now by theorem 10.8 we know that angle AOC is twice of angle ADC. And after that we need to write the result. Okay, we have to write the statement of that theorem. The statement was angle subtended by arc with center is double of angle subtended with remaining part of circle. Since the questions are very small and the calculation part is very easy, the main thing is you have to write the statement of the theorem. You have to remember the statement. So the statement is angle subtended by the arc with the center is double of angle subtended by arc with the remaining part of the circle. Now angle AOC is my 90. So this is twice of angle ADC. So my angle ADC will be equals to 90 divided by 2, that is 45 degrees. So angle ADC is equals to 45 degrees. You can see that the question was very simple. All you need to do was put the theorem 10.8 directly into the question. But the statement is mandatory, that you have to write the statement in the question. Now let's take another example. In the question, the figure is something like this and we need to find angle OPR, where O is the center of the circle and you can see that angle OPR is this angle. We need to find the angle OPR and only one thing is given, that is angle PQR is equals to 100 degrees. Okay, now we only know the two results in this chapter, that is theorem 10.8 and 10.9. Now we can apply theorem 10.8 here. How? We know that angle POR is equals to twice angle PQR. And since we are talking about the angle which is greater than 180 degree, because I am talking about this angle, so we will write reflex angle POR. Okay, there are two angle POR. The first one is this angle, that is this one, and the second is the outer one. And if the angle is greater than 180 degree, we write the name as reflex angle POR. Okay, so my reflex angle POR will be twice of angle PQR. Why? By the theorem 10.8. And you need to write the statement here. Okay, you have to write the statement of that theorem here. So we can say angle POR is equals to twice of 100, that is 200 degrees. Okay, so this angle is my 200 degrees. Okay, now we know that reflex angle POR plus angle POR is equals to 360 degrees. Okay, the reason is complete angle, because this is the angle formed by a point. Okay, this is the angle formed on a point. So these two angles will add up to 360 degrees. So angle POR will be 360 degrees minus 200 degrees, that is 160 degrees. This means that this angle is 160 degrees. Now I need to find angle OPR and we can find it by making some relations. How? We know that OP is equals to OR, right? Because they both are the radius of the circle. Okay, which means this angle 1 and this angle 2 will be equal to each other. Reason, isosceles triangle. Okay, whenever we have two sides equal, the angle opposite to them are also equal. And now the question is very simple, because all we need to do is apply the angle sum property. Angle 1 plus angle 2 plus 160 degrees is 180 degrees. Reason, angle sum property. Now angle 1 plus angle 1 is equals to 180 minus 160, that is 20 degrees. 2 angle 1 is equals to 20 degrees, which implies angle 1 equals to 10 degrees. And angle 1 is angle OPR. R. This is my 10 degrees. So by this you can see that the different chapters of geometry are interrelated. We are applying the results of some other chapters in this chapter, and in almost every question we are doing that. In this question, first I applied the chapter 6 lines and angle. Then I applied chapter 7 isosceles triangle. Then again I applied angle sum property which we learned in angle 6. So the chapter 6, that is lines and angle, congruent triangles, quadrilaterals and circles, they all are the chapters of geometry and they are interrelated. Any result from one chapter can be applied in the other chapters. Now the next example is, the figure is given to us in which we know that angle ABC is 69 degree and angle ACB is 31 degree. We need to find angle BDC. Now look at the question, we need to find this angle. But the angle B and angle C, which we know are the part of the triangle, this one. Okay, so we cannot apply angle sum property because these are the angles of this triangle, but I know angle BDC. But with the help of angle sum property, we can find this angle BAC. Okay, so first of all, we will find that angle A plus angle B plus angle C equals to 180 degrees. Reason, angle sum property of triangle. Now angle A will be 69 plus 31 equals to 180 degrees. So angle A plus 100 equals to 180 degrees. So angle A will be my 180 minus 100, that is 80 degrees. So this is my angle A. But I need to find the angle BDC, and in this chapter we have learned theorem 10.9 also, which says the angle in the same segment are equal. And you can see that this angle BAC and BDC both are the angle in the same segment BC, right? They are formed by the same arc and with the same segment. So angle A should be equals to angle D. These are angles in same segment, and the angles in same segment are equal to each other. So my angle D will be 80 degrees. So angle BDC is equals to 80 degrees. So you can see that how the theorem 10.9 can be applied. You can directly find angle A by using angle sum property, and then angle D with the help of the theorem 10.9, that is angle in the same segment. So these were the two theorems related to the arc of a circle. I hope you understand today's topic. Keep practicing and thank you.